Hello and welcome to another episode of Race Talk F1. It's your boy J Knox.
And your boy Javier.
And we travel around the world from South London via this podcast, talking about all of the races in the F1 2025 season, all 24 of them. And this time round, we was in
Catalonia, my home race, Barcelona.
Trying to think about how to say it. Yeah, you're Spanish, innit?
Yeah, man. Home race.
Half anyway.
Half home race.
And there ain't a Jamaica race yet.
Yeah,
so.
not yet. Soon come.
But yeah, your home race. Somewhere I went a couple years ago. Sick.
Nice. What do you think of it there?
I like it, man. I like it. It was a good vibe. It was hot. I actually stayed in Lloret de Mar, which is a little bit outside. So you've got Barcelona, then you've got like where the circuit is, which is like just outside Barcelona. And then about another 45 minutes away is Lloret de Mar. So that's where I actually stay. Loads of like people that go to the race stay in Lloret de Mar as well. It's got its own beach, its own whole place, its whole city.
Wicked.
Nice. Clubs, vibey, bit young, party-wise. I think a lot of kids go Lloret de Mar. I say kids, I mean like they no, it was like buses, school buses of kids. It was young, like 14s, 15s, and that. So it was young around there. And then the parties were full of like 18s, 19s as well. Like it was. I mean, I'm assuming they were anyway. But
anything goes in Europe.
The thing is, abroad, sometimes people just get let in, innit?
Nothing.
They're not like they are in England. Not the same. But yeah, man, Spain, lovely place. Bare tapas. And bare grazie from all the Brits. Getting it all wrong and
Can
that.
I have a beer, please?
You know what I'm saying? All of that. But yeah, good vibes. And a good race. It was a good race a couple of years ago when I was there. Enjoyed that a lot. And enjoyed this weekend as well. Eventful.
Mad eventful, bro. There's so much to unpack.
And sometimes we sit here and we're like, oh yeah, man, it was this happened before, this happened after, this happened in practice. This time it was all race, really.
Yeah, really, to be honest. I mean, we did say last race, right? Please, Barcelona, save F1. We did say it, and I think it delivered. To be fair,
yeah, it was good, man. It was good. I don't think I caught much of practice.
Yeah, me neither.
Where did you watch qualifying?
Qualifying, just watched at home. Race watched at my mum's house.
Yeah.
So, it was all right. It was good.
Nice. Qualifying was on the same day as the Champions League final, which a lot of the drivers were talking about. Nice. And I was obviously in Munich.
Nice.
For that, which was also insanely vibey. And it's mad for me, like when they got bare sports on the same weekends as music events or big sport. You know, like in the past you've had like Silverstone on the same weekend. I think is Wimbledon, or the Euros, of course. Yeah, we've had that before. This time it's football and Formula One again. But yes, it's crazy. But it gives a mad mood because a lot of fans are fans of multiple sports.
Yeah.
Like, we're big football fans. Like, so it was a big weekend, like through and through. But it was nice.
Yeah, nice. So did you watch out there?
I watched qualifying out there, and then I watched the race. I was back here in time for Sunday afternoon and caught the race, which I watched live, and I'm so glad I saw it live. My gosh.
Yeah. You did not want any spoilers for this one.
No, not at all. Qualifying was interesting. Like, the qualifying was tight.
It was tight. Obviously you had a couple of drivers exactly on the same time in Q3. Max and George.
Max and George were tight all weekend.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So
they exactly the same time, but because Max put his lap in first, he got to keep the higher position.
That's mad, isn't it? I didn't even know it worked.
I didn't know, neither did I.
Yeah.
Which is so he came third in quali.
Another reason to go and get your lap early, man.
And I don't understand why people keep leaving it to the last minute.
I know.
Which, for like Yuki, for example, he kind of went out late and had a hero's lap, if you call it, ended up P20.
Yeah,
out in Q1.
Wasn't there a yellow? Was there a yellow flag? Because these things can mess you up.
So Colapinto broke down in the pit lane. which is nuts. So he qualified in 19th, but he broke down in the pit lane with about, I think it was like 4 minutes to go, and his car just stopped at the end of the pit lane. So everyone was just stuck in traffic behind him. It was mental. You don't see that, right?
Yeah.
Like, how does your car make it out of the garage and then just stop like 3 seconds later?
Yeah, it's not even out
mental.
of the pits, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not.
I was like, how you make it out of the pits? Like, no, you're right. He just made it out of the garage.
Yeah,
Crazy.
So that's unfortunate for him. Definitely unfortunate for him because his counterpart in Pierre, he ended up qualifying P8.
Yeah, he was gassed up.
The car had some pace.
Man, ready for the PSG game. So that's what he was.
Yeah, they were loving it this weekend, weren't they?
PSG energy,
They
bro.
were loving it this weekend.
Charles Leclerc. I think he was watching like warm up or something and decided to stay in his garage and not even put in a Heroes lap, bro. So I'm not even going back out there, saving my tires in case PSG need them.
That's how he was.
PSG didn't need his tires, bro. But that French energy continued. Obviously, PSG smashed it up in the evening.
Yeah.
But also, Leclerc saved his tires. I'm joking about him saving them for the game, but he saved them for the Sunday, and it was an interesting strategy for him to not go and get another lap. But he qualified kind of all right anyway.
7th, Lewis in 5th.
It's just very, very, very Ferrari at the moment.
Safe.
Yeah, 7th has just been very. Who was? Someone said to me, "Why is Lewis 7th again?" It was like it was one point. It was like Palace being 12th in the league. Like he's just always 7th.
Consistency.
He's been 7th, like consistently. But for the first time out qualifying, was it the first time out qualifying? Shaw? Maybe not the first time, but generally
hasn't happened often.
Charles Leclerc has been qualifying above him. So he qualified above, but obviously we've got in the back of our minds, well, maybe Charles could have got a better lap, but he just allowed it and kept his tyres, which we're going to talk about done him good for the Sunday and put him on a completely different strategy.
It did.
But qualifying was interesting, man. But to see Yuki go out so early.
Yeah. Mad.
This is, at what point does it get like, this is not good enough?
So I've been on the camp of, Yuki's been doing all right. The Red Bull second car, it's not that. It's just people need to learn to drive the car better. There's something wrong with that second Red Bull car, man.
Bruv, it's cursed.
There's something wrong with that second Red Bull car.
It's cursed. It's cursed.
I don't think it's the same car.
Yes,
I don't even think it's the same car.
I think all the tech goes into Max's.
I think everything goes into Max's, or they just run mad experiments in the second car where it's like, oh, this might work, it might not. We ran it through the simulator and it just said, like sometimes when it says data unavailable or some wild thing, it just comes up with that and they go, oh yeah, let's chuck it on.
At this point, do Red Bull care? I mean, I know that they care, but do they care? Like, is this a point? Obviously, they got rid of Liam Lawson out of that seat quite quickly. Like, you gave Liam, 6 races?
6 races, yeah.
And they did it after 4, I think it was, right? At this point, do they just look at it and say, okay, cool, is what it is? Because they know that Yuki's not a bad driver.
100%. So Max said, he goes, Yuki's not a potato, so make of that what you want. So I think even Max now knows, there's something with that second car. Yeah. I think they just keep Yuki for the rest of the season. Unless they're going to bring back a Daniel Ricciardo or something. Just a maverick to try and, match Max.
Just let's see what happens.
If you're not bringing back Daniel at this point, I think just keep it as it is. You can't demote Isaac Hadjar to Red Bull. You can't demote him.
It's not even a demotion at the moment, bro.
It's not a promotion. It's a demotion now. Like, it's a demotion.
Oh no, you said demote actually.
Yeah. You can't demote him to that. You just can't. So
man said demoted into the Red Bull. Like people been talking about
that second seat is wild, bro.
Yuki getting promoted into that seat for ages.
No,
in fact,
he got demoted. Helmet didn't like him no more, man, and said, "Yeah, we're gonna ruin your whole drivers' championship standings. You're not getting no more points for the rest of this season."
Hey, end of last season, everyone was like, "No, Yuki deserves to get promoted."
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, I feel like this saved Yuki because if they put Yuki in that seat right from the beginning. Like that would have been, this is the standard. And then I don't know what they would do at this point if Yuki wasn't performing. I don't think they would have only given him 4 races. I think he's earned enough credit with Red Bull to stay longer than that. But here at this point, like race 7, 8 and 9, like he's getting techie.
It is. Roll back Sergio, isn't it?
Right? You might as well just bring back. Sergio's probably sitting there on the beach somewhere.
He's loving it. I told you so. And he's going to come back next year on a mad Kit Kat contract, I'm telling you.
Yo!
Was it Cadillac?
Cadillac.
Yeah, he's coming back with Cadillac with a vengeance, I'm telling you.
The Cadillac contract.
Yeah, man, he's got to love it.
Yeah, Kit Kat sponsoring the whole of the F1, which I haven't seen enough Kit Kat, man.
Yeah, neither have I. I love a Kit Kat.
I'm a big Kit Kat fan. If there's a Kit Kat team, I'll be all over that.
What's your favourite Kit Kat?
Chunky, all day long, bruv. Yeah, the white chocolate one's
chocolate one. Okay.
Pretty crazy.
Does something for you.
Hazelnut's good. They got the cookies. Yeah. They've got bear now, but they're not.
Someone get this man a Kit Kat.
You know what I'm saying?
Have a Kit Kat.
all of that. Yeah, and they don't even sponsor us when we're doing all this. Crazy. But yeah, I think Sergio's just chilling out. But I think when you really look at this, they've done Yuki a favor by not putting him in that car from the beginning of the season, and they've also they've lifted the skirt on what's going on here a little bit and shown all of us, it's this second car.
Yeah, well, they admitted that they put I think it was the suspension, and they tried a new rear wing on the car or something like that, and it just didn't work. And it just didn't work. So at least they admitted it, right?
At least
to take some of the smoke off of him. But
at this point, Yuki is basically a reserve driver.
Pretty much. He's just, yeah. And I think maybe that's why they done the swap with Liam. Maybe because he's got more experience in being able to tell him, this is what the car feels like. This is the direction we need to go in.
It's got to be a trust thing, innit? Because Liam's going to tell them stuff and they're going to be like,
you're new to this, big man.
Yeah. Basically. Whereas at least Yuki, they must believe him in it. But what's this doing for Yuki's his soul must be hurting, bruv.
I think because he knows he's going to be without a team next year. I think if things continue the way it is. But I don't know, maybe they know the second car. I think maybe they know the second car's. So you think he stays at Red Bull?
I think he stays.
Okay.
I don't know if he wants to stay. The thing is, if Liam Lawson doesn't smash it out of the park for the rest of the season, does Yuki get to say, big man, I want my seat back, bruv?
Well, Isaac will be moving up next year.
But moving up to where, bruv? Because you would have said, unless Max is leaving, there's no moving up to Red Bull. You just called it a demotion.
The second seat.
You just called it a demotion.
When's the new regs? Is that next season?
26, yeah.
It's a completely different car than next year, right?
It is. But no one wants to, man will just stay where I'm comfortable. It's good. He's not doing badly.
Yeah.
Isaac Hadjar, and he can be number one there. Liam Lawson's seat is the one that's techie. Let's talk a bit about him. Because for me, I joked about this last week, him being like the new Logan Sargent, but he's kind of being a liability on the track a little bit.
Yeah, so he qualified P13, and then race day, he was just a menace on the... I know we ain't started the race chat yet, but
might as well just talk about it.
He was a menace on the racetrack this weekend. He was smashing into everyone.
It's not the first time.
He drove erratically. Right?
This is the word, bruv. There's something in this Red Bulls, bruv. I don't know what's in this Red Bulls, bro. He was taking away wings, bro.
Bro, it was nuts, and he done all of that just to finish in 11th place.
Yeah, bro, but he got a penalty in it because I think there was one that was it was bad, but it was maybe controversial. I think the second one was nah, I'm big man, that was wrong, innit? You dive down this side. He did it to, was it Portoletto last? I can't remember last week. He done the same thing, bruv. But he's dived down the inside. He didn't have enough space to make the move. Shouldn't have made the move. He's made the move. The move ain't come off. There, mate. It's contact. You're taking away people's front wings, and it's not that, bruv. So he had to. It was Albon. Albon ended up retiring. Mash up the front wings.
Yeah, sad for Albon because obviously he's been putting in stellar performances.
It was a weekend to forget for him.
It was. It
really
dead out weekend. It really was. But there we go, innit? Liam needs to. Yeah, I don't know for him, man.
Yeah, bro. I think it's gonna be one of those ones, man. He's not finishing badly. It's not like he's coming in as a 19th for 20. He was 12th for most of the race, I think.
He was, finished 11th, which ain't bad. I think he's just putting too much pressure on himself. I think at this point, I think he's in his own head with the performances of Isaac, and he thinks, I need to beat him.
But you need to finish races without contact. Is what you need to do.
But I feel like he's always been like this, though. He's always been mad aggressive.
Bro, some people are just like this, innit? Yeah. And when you drive a certain way and you got a certain style, maybe Formula One just ain't for you, innit? I'm not saying that he should be out, but I'm saying you see certain people, they might have been driving as long as you, but you look at certain people, you're like, big man, 3-litre engine ain't for you, bruv. For the safety of yourself and all of us on the road, allow it, bruv.
Get him in NASCAR, innit?
Just and that's sometimes it's just not, you know what? You haven't got you've got the minerals for it, but you haven't got the sensibility for it.
Finesse.
Like Max has got the minerals and he's got the finesse. It's very, very, very different. Lewis has got a level of class driving an insanely powerful car. And Liam, you just get the feeling you're a little bit slapdash.
Yeah.
All gas and brake and that. Them man there that don't know how to read danger and that. You know, just calm. It's time to dive bomb and time not to.
Yeah, agree.
That's where it is. 8 laps or so it took on this race for I think it was Max, for Lando to get that message to say, boom, tires are at optimum temperature.
Yeah,
like there was a lot of tire talk this weekend about getting it right. Max ended up on what seemed like the wrong tires, the hards.
Oh, right at the end of the race, yeah, which was insane. Contrary
to Charles Leclerc, who got it right. Obviously, he made a bit of a sacrifice on the Saturday. We talked about the qualifying, but yeah.
And this is it, right? So this is probably one of the first time Ferrari have actually done a great strategy decision and worked well together as a team, right, on something. So fair play to Ferrari. Learning.
You're getting there.
That's what life's all about, right?
Getting there. I mean,
that's what life's all about.
They interviewed Lewis at the end and said, what's been learnt from this weekend? Lewis is done out.
Oh, he's finished.
Mentally, he's like, this is dead, bruv. Like, he almost wants the season to finish.
Yeah.
Or at least to get to summer break. Because you could see, he's like, you know, I think one interview I saw, he was like, "Oh, you know, what have you learned from this triple header? What is there to take?" He was like, "Nothing." And then on another one, it was like you could tell the interviewer was just sad to see him as it is. And she said, you know, because he was like, well, "What do you want me to say?"
Yeah.
She was like, we hate seeing you. Like, he said, what do you want me to say? I've just had an awful weekend. I've got to come do these interviews. Like, I hear him. And then, but she was like, well, look, I hope that they can work out what's wrong. And he goes, probably won't.
Yeah, his head's gone. But I'll be laughing all the way to the bank with the contract he's on, mate. So I don't even mind. But he's a competitor, so he wants to win. What I did find funny, right, about that, so Lewis had a slow pit stop at some point. I don't remember. It was about halfway through the race. He pitted and he had a slow pit stop, which caused him some trouble. Earlier on in the week, so F125's just come out. So there's a clip of Lewis and he's playing F125 with Mbappe. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So Lewis pulls into the pits while he's racing Mbappe, right?
Go on.
The team does a slow pit stop. Gave him a 3.3 second. Lewis goes, my team don't do slow pit stops. We don't do 3.3s. The same week, where he then goes and has like a 4-second pit stop. So mental foreshadowing.
So what you're saying is F125 is a sick game because it's so true
unrivaled realism. You know what they say? Best simulator on the market and stuff. That's how they market it, right? And it's showing.
Pretty accurate. They put a slow pit stop for Ferrari in. Maybe Ferrari were just trying to, I don't know. They need to do better.
They do.
Are they improving?
I think so. Because Charles ended up, so we haven't said it, Charles ended up finishing third on the podium.
Podium
finish.
So it's hard to criticize Ferrari this badly when that's happening. But at the same time, it's hard to look at them favorably when Lewis is getting overtaken by Hülkenberg.
Big up Nico.
I mean, big up Hülkenberg. He scored more points in this race than Yuki, or than the second Red Bull car has scored all season so far.
He did. So yeah, big up Nico. He was flying.
Yeah,
he was flying,
smashing.
And you know that one made me happy, right? Because last week I got a lot of abuse online, right?
Go on.
I got a lot of abuse online from Bortoleto fans.
Oh yeah,
right? And big up Bortoleto because he qualified. What was it? 12th, which was his highest qualification this year. He out-qualified Nico, but I got abuse, right? Bortoleto is better than Nico. He out-qualifies in every week, blah, 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 blah. But what's he doing on a race day? Because Nico finished this race in P5.
Yeah.
Overtaking Lewis like an absolute G. And it's like, there we go, man.
Yeah, the drive he put in, like Lewis was like for him, it was like the icing on the cake. But the rest of the race, all the overtakes that he pulled, all the moves he pulled was top class driving.
It was.
And sometimes because he's driving what is pretty much known as a slower car, like I forget maybe that these men are as good as they are. Like he's really good. And the Bortoleto thing, well, but you know what? I hear it.
But Bortoleto he did have a good race. You know, he finished P12. I think he did get put on a bit of a dodgy strategy by some people call it the Xbox Minecraft team because it's like black and green and stuff.
I hear it, yeah. And the way that kick is written, pixelated and that. I think that he listened to Race Talk F1 last week.
I think so.
Heard what man was saying and said, "What? and pulled it out the bag.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I think.
so. But he's a good driver. You don't win. So last year, obviously, he was in F2. He won F2. The year before that, he won F3. You don't win 2 championships back to back, and you're not a mad sick driver.
Yeah, he's working up.
He's got talent. He's just in a terrible car, right? And it's going to take him. I never said he was a bad driver. I never said he was a bad driver. People took stuff out of context, right? I just said he needs to start performing better. But he's not a bad driver.
Out of context, one have. Fair play. So he was showing his colours, and maybe like this is just good for the whole team, to be honest, because it was overall good weekend for them.
Mad uplifting for them. So
Yeah,
hopefully
nice.
they might kick on.
We saw this with like Alpine, I think it was last season, like one great race, like lifts spirits to like an unbelievable level.
It can do, and it does,
it's
right?
Nice. It's nice. And it's nice when we get reminded as well that these men can drive. Talking about pit stops, Max went for 3 pit stops. He stopped pretty early. How do you think that affected his strategy?
It was going perfectly until the safety car. Right?
Yeah.
So, and I don't think... So I think they said this was the latest safety car they've ever had in Spain before.
58 laps
Lap
in.
58. So it was all going perfectly fine. He was going to get P3, maybe even catch up to, be behind one of the McLarens. I doubt it, but the possibility was on. So I think he was shoo-in for P3. Safety car comes, ruins the whole strategy. So it was fine until it wasn't.
Fair
What I
enough.
mean?
Fair
And then,
enough.
but what I do think they messed up on was, I'm not an F1 not mechanic, what's the
Expert.
word? An expert
Guru.
or a guru or the engineer. I'm not a race engineer, right? So I don't know the offset on used softs and brand new hards and blah, blah, blah. But why didn't Red Bull just let Max stay out, get track position, be P1 and be on the soft tyres that he was already on? I don't
And he's
understand.
a sick driver, so it would be down to him to manage those tyres. And if he couldn't manage them, then he'd either have to come in or he'd let man buy, innit? Like the McLarens would get past him anyway.
This is what I don't
And he
understand.
would have finished P3.
And now you've got... So he ended up finishing, obviously, P4 in the race, right?
Yeah.
For the
Penalty.
penalties. He finished P4. If he stayed out on track, he would have had Lando to overtake him, Oscar to overtake him, and Charles to overtake him in, 10 laps remaining, if that? Or was it only like 7 laps?
And he
that
knows
was
how
left?
to defend.
And he can defend. So that's, you take one car overtaking you a lap or something, which is unlikely. It's just, it was an odd decision for me.
I feel like Red Bull just got it wrong in general, because let's talk about the collisions. He had 2 incidents. 3 incidents, I think, even.
Yeah.
Like, he was just in the middle of it all this time around,
He was.
There was a moment, right? Now, I've got a bit of a gripe with like the commentary team or everyone.
So do I. I
Yeah.
agree.
Oh, is it? Yeah. So when they've analysed it, and what they've said afterwards, I think this is on Sky. They said, look, you can see that George, when George's passing, George has got the position at the apex. So it's George's corner, but because George is out of control of the car, that and makes contact with. Does he make contact with Max at that point? I can't remember.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
And Max is forced basically off the road.
Yeah.
Then George was in the right. So later on, or like in the following lap, the team got it wrong as well, because they said let George. But like we think that you should give the place back. And he's flipped out. He said, "I'm not giving the place back." He just ran me off the road. Like as much as we're looking at it in slow motion and saying, "Look, he was out of control. Therefore, it wasn't Max's corner. It was George's." No one knows that at the time. No one's watched that in that close detail. Max didn't know that, innit? So Max has got to take, if his team is saying, yo, like, give the place back, he's got to trust that the team know more than what he does.
Yeah.
And we can't look at this and say, oh yeah, he was out of control of the car, and make a judgment like with all of this tech an hour after the race, when at the time, in the moment, we saw what we saw, and it looked like it was way tighter than, they were looking at man's head moving from the impact of, well, we're doing too much, innit? We can't expect these drivers. And Max didn't know he was in the right at the time.
Yeah.
As far as we're concerned, George looked like he was fully in the right. So you kind of got to listen to your team. If your team is saying that's what it is. Anyway, he was flipping out at his team, which is wild. And for me, like, the team's got to reflect the driver in it. So we know how Max drives and how Max thinks. So really and truly, the team should have said, do you know what? You stay in front and you claim track position if you get, or give him the option. But they said give the place back, which you already know is going to cause an issue.
Yeah.
Especially if man feels rammed off the road, innit?
So do you think they've done that because Red Bull feel like they've been mistreated in other situations previously in the season where they haven't given the place back, for example, and Max feels like he was in the right, and then later on they end up getting the penalty? So do you feel like they think they're going to get treated differently, so they're just like, just give the place back, avoid any drama with FA?
I think they've got a second car that's not going to score no points. And this is a game of points. So they're thinking, do you know what? We don't want to have that gamble now, innit? Like, Max, we gamble with you, innit? We usually gamble with you. So at this point, someone said, no, we're not gambling today. Give the place back. We'll take the points for he would have ended up with P5 at that point. We'll take the P5 and be done. That's what the team wanted to do, all right? Now, this race engineer is saying, Max, we think you should give the place back. He's not just looked at his screen and said, Max, give the place back. He's got that team principal, Horner's there, everyone's there, innit? They've got a team of analysts watching stuff back. Like, they'll be saying, yo, we think you should give the place back because, or they might have been talking to the FIA who could have said, yo, we're probably going to give you a lot of fine for this or a mad penalty. And they're like, no, allow it. We need the points. And so for Max to react how he did, that's unfair. Anyway, they said to let him by, and then he's gone like he's going to let George by, and then he doesn't let George by.
See, I don't think that's what happened. I think Max he lost control of the car a little bit, and it was just a racing incident.
Max is way too good for that, bruv. This is the problem. You're better than that.
Max just wanted to prove a point, didn't he?
Max wanted to prove a point. Max proved his point, and he took the penalty. He knew what was going to happen. That's a violation to the whole team, though, because the team said, do this so that we can get maximum points. I know they didn't explain it like that. That's basically what they said. Do this, give the place back. We want maximum points, right? You did what you wanted to do because you was frustrated and ended up He's lucky he ended up with any points at this race, bro.
He should have been black flagged from the race, to be honest, because you can't just drive into someone for the fun of it. And that's exactly what he did. He literally, right, so I get back to F1 like 25, right? If you ever play an online lobby, right, there's a lot of people that they're just like 12-year-old kids. If you're getting overtaken, they'll just crash into you and you're both getting taken out. No one's finishing the race, right? He just was like, yeah, forget this race. I'm done with F1.
Yeah, I'm done with all of you lot.
I'm taking him out.
Yeah, and Lando said he's done that, but only in Mario Kart. This is the thing. So the quality and the tantrum that I saw from Max on this race, just told me he might leave F1 soon. Yeah. I felt it before. When Max isn't getting his own way or he doesn't feel like he's just right, you just think he's like, I don't even want to be here, you know?
Yeah. I mean, or does it just show that he's that competitive and that passionate about it?
There's competitive. Like, for me, Lewis is almost too competitive because you should have sat a year out, or you should have left Mercedes like that year, beginning of that year, middle of that year, and just said, you know, I'm going to sit out. But he's like so determined, so obsessed with racing that they all are. To be where they all are. But I think it gets to a point where I remember watching this and thinking, if what happened in 2021 to Lewis on that last lap where it feels like he was robbed of the championship, if that had happened to Max, I do not think Max would have returned to F1.
Max is retiring. He's doing Le Mans and doing the 24-hour race.
It's not even retiring.
It's
big, man. Your sport ain't even a sport, bro. I'm not doing this, innit? Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just putting you all in the bin.
Agree. Yeah, he is like that.
Part of me wanted Lewis to do it, to make a statement, but Max would make that statement.
Yeah, he would.
And that's what he did this weekend. He didn't like something, but you can't play with man's safety at 100 mile an hour, bruv.
No, you can't. And he was wrong. And he did come out. I think it was this morning he's come out. And he said, what I did was, I think he said
that move shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, that move shouldn't have happened. So not an apology.
Say sorry, man. What's wrong with you, brother? I hate that man that says, yeah. I'd just like to offer bare apologies for the fact that I didn't make it there at the agreed time. Bruv, you was late. If you're late, you say, sorry, I'm late. You don't do the shouldn't have occurred and unfortunately I wasn't. Shut up, bruv. Just you messed up. Just say sorry, innit?
Do you think if it was anyone other than George, he would have apologized or not?
No, because this is Max, innit? Like he ain't gonna. But we just watched the Vegas incident from 2021. Is it
21 or
21
22?
19? Yeah, it was Vegas. It weren't even 17 or 18. It was anyway, a couple years back.
Sky Sports label it the feud.
Coming together. I know they put it out like it was a boxing match. Russell and Verstappen.
Maybe for charity, if they do a little boxing match or something, that will get viewers. That would make enough money for charity.
To be honest, they should do it, you know.
It would be great. I mean, they're the same weight class, right? Everyone has to be 80 kg or something like that in Formula One.
Light dons. Who would win, Max or George in the ring?
Max. I don't think George has that dog in him to be able to do it, you know.
Yeah, you reckon?
But George is quite long, isn't he? He's got the reach.
Bruv,
so I don't know.
I think George he would be like a Mayweather, very avoidance. Avoidance. You know what I'm saying? He might not really get, and I think Max would just lose his head. And
he would lose his head.
Start
Max to get disqualified from the match for punching him in the back of the head.
All of that.
Something dumb. But so speaking of Max losing his head, obviously he said that there was a lot of things that led up to it. Him and Charles made contact right before that as well. So going down the straight on the restart.
Whose fault was
Charles
that?
And Max. Oh, Charles, I think.
Yeah.
Charles, I think. And this is where sometimes I think Max gets the thought that there's kind of like a double standard in things. So Charles, after the race, I think he did say, I was trying to push him off a bit. And
he said he was trying to get into the slipstream, he said.
And, you know, and I think they've done the whole 0.1 mile an hour playback of what it was.
Yeah.
Max's wheel don't go nowhere to the right.
Yeah, no. So, Charles moves to the left like he does. But at the same time, he's taken over the road. He's overtaken. I think you've got to, like Max, if I'm driving there, I'm moving over a bit. Unless I get to the bit where there's no more road.
Yeah.
Because this is my thing. It's not like he left him with no space. It's not like there was no space. Like, he moved over to the left, but he's pushing you, he's pushing you, innit?
Yeah.
Like, just you have to move until you get to the point where you can't, where there's no more road.
Max ain't moving for no one, man.
Right. So the contact happened, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it was avoidable.
Yeah.
You could have avoided it as well. So it weren't your fault, but you see what I'm saying? But I think with that, like, they were also saying on the commentary, like, Charles shouldn't have said what he said. He should have just kept it stum until after the investigation or whatever it is.
Agree.
My problem with this is, the thing is, we want the drivers to talk about things on one breath, and then in another breath, we're like, I shouldn't have said anything yet.
Yeah, true.
Like, bro, let them talk. If we want to hear them talk, let them talk, innit? They got to come off and talk the things.
Because then you complain at people like Max when he doesn't say anything, right?
Comes on and says, you know what I'm saying? Talking about interviews and what they say and what they don't, what I did think was hard is these interviews afterwards. I thought I was quite impressed with Max.
Okay.
Because they asked him about the incident and he avoided answering, but he weren't rude. I expected him to be mad rude, mad stupid about it, and he wasn't. And they asked him, and he just started talking about his race and the strategy and the tyres. And I was like, actually, I do need to hear this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then when it was Lando, I felt it was a little bit sad for him because they asked him straight out the gate about the incident, which he wasn't even involved in.
And he was loving it, innit?
And he was like, it was a great McLaren 1-2. Like, he's got something to celebrate here. And we're talking about Max.
Yeah.
Tough one, man.
Well, at least they done their interviews, right? Unlike some people.
Bukayo Saka. He wasn't on the interview list. Now, this is going off online. There's a mad difference of opinion here because basically on the grid walk, they came to, the whole England team were there. They came to Harry Kane, they spoke to him, spoke to Dan Burns, came to Saka, and Saka didn't look like he wanted to chat.
I think he said, I've got nothing to say or I haven't got much to say. Something along them lines.
Yeah. And this is the thing, right? Everybody knows, and I believe everybody, all the celebrities and the faces on the grid are briefed to say when you get, and you know, they're told when you are on the grid at the Formula One, if Sky Sports or whoever it is come to chat to you, you
have to chat to them.
You say a few words.
Yeah.
You ain't got to go into no detail. You ain't got to know about F1 because they're not going to start tearing you apart on F1. But and if the England media team, because there's a whole England team there, if the England media team didn't tell them this, then the England media team are at fault. But unfortunately, the one that looks like an idiot off the back of it is Saka. And people are saying he doesn't look like an idiot. He's not entitled. He doesn't have to talk to the media. What do you think?
You have to talk to the media when you're on the F1 grid. And as a F1 fan, it's quite sad, you know, like when you see people get put in a privileged position, you've been given a free ticket to get unparalleled access. Like nobody gets that level of access, right? To be on the grid before. So to get a free ticket to be there, it's like, just be grateful in it and just say, oh, I'm so happy to be here. I love F1.
Atmosphere's great.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say. And he's lucky it weren't Martin Brundle that was there, because if Martin was there, he would have hotted him up. He would have hotted him up. So he's quite lucky.
It's just a bit annoying. Like I think, you know, and for the people saying that, you know what, he doesn't have to speak to them. You're right, he doesn't have to speak to them. But this is what happens now. The internet are ruining him, and I'm not going to say rightly so, because you know I don't want to see that happen to him.
He could have been having a bad day, right?
He could have been, but when you are in the limelight, like Nick Bright said it on Twitter the best. Like he just said, if that's how you're feeling, just stay in the VIP in it. Like it's calm. Like you don't have to talk to anyone, but on the grid you kind of do.
Yeah.
And if you don't, when it's like, for people that don't watch Formula One week in, week out and think, oh yeah, but he doesn't owe the media nothing. Well, this is what happens, innit? Like, at least do yourself, like selfishly, I like Saka in it. So selfishly, for you, for yourself, just paint yourself in a bright light.
And this is what comes with being the star boy, right? Because our boy Eze was there. It's like the interviewers didn't even know who he was. They just walked straight past him, straight to Saka, because Saka is the star boy. He's the face. He's like the face of English football,
and that's what
basically.
it is.
He's got Nando sauces. Like you're the star boy, so you have to have your PR on 10-10.
Man, I'm wondering if them sauces are mad salty right now, bro. It's crazy. Yeah, I just wish that he just smiled and just smile for the camera, bro.
This is it. Yeah.
Like, you're a star in it. Yeah. Smile for the camera.
Like, I support Lando. I support Lewis. Our England boys. That's
whatever
right?
it is.
Do you know what I mean?
Done. It's not George, no. Nah, you know what it is.
I love George, man. He's one of the funniest drivers on the grid. So
it's just that, man. Yeah. Bit of a shame.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, we move, isn't it?
We move. And also the other thing, by the way, is for people that were saying, oh, this happened with Pep Guardiola, because it did a couple of years ago, I think, saying that no one ruined Pep. Yeah, bro, everyone gets the same treatment.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you don't like show some politeness, everyone, it happened to Marilyn Manson.
Megan Thee Stallion got it, didn't she?
Megan Thee Stallion
Martin
got it.
after.
Like there's a few that have got it, and people have come out after and said, do you know what? My bad. I didn't get it. And again, I say, idiots to whoever brought them on the grid and didn't show them how it goes. But this happens to everyone, innit? Like this isn't a Saka thing.
Yeah, no.
Boom.
Agreed.
Looking forward to a break.
Yeah.
I bet they all are.
1 week break.
And then it's the Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, should be buzzing for that one.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So make sure you're following us on all the socials at Race Talk F1. It's been your boy J Knox to the world.
And your boy Javier.
We will catch up with you then. Cheers for listening and watching. Peace.